Indian economic updates. The government has issued an expression of interest inviting Indian firms, public, private, or consortiums, to co-develop, prototype, flight test, and certify the 5th generation Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, AMCA. This marks India's most ambitious military research and development initiative to date, with an initial 15,000 crore rupees budget earmarked for prototype development, potentially scaling to several lakh crore for full production. The Aeronautical Development Agency requires bidders to demonstrate comprehensive capabilities in design assimilation, engineering, manufacturing, integration, testing, and certification. Applicants must be Indian companies, with the bid window open until 16 August 2025. A pre-bid conference is scheduled in early this month. The project timeline mandates prototype completion in 8 years, targeting first flight by 2029, full development by 2034, and mass production by mid-2030s. The AMCA program enters a competitive model allowing public and private contenders such as Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Tata Advanced Systems, Adani Defence, and Larsen & Toubro to participate. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh praised the move as bold and decisive, aligning with Make in India goals and aiming to rejuvenate India's squadrons, currently below the sanctioned 42, with China fielding modern J-20 stealth jets. The program also seeks to overcome past delays in the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited built Tejas Mark 1A. That project, historically delayed, from engine supply setbacks to development hurdles, has impeded deliveries. 83 jets ordered in 2021 are yet to be fully delivered, with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited citing General Electric engine delays resolved only in 2025. As India faces an urgent need to replenish Indian Air Force squadrons, currently operating just 31 instead of 42, the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, AMCA, initiative represents a pivotal leap toward long-term aerial supremacy. India is on the cusp of a logistics revolution, powered by cutting-edge technologies like drone delivery, hyperloop systems, and electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) aircraft. These innovations promise to reshape the movement of goods and people, reduce travel times, and create more sustainable supply chains. Drone delivery is already gaining traction, especially in sectors like healthcare, agriculture, and e-commerce. Startups and logistics companies are using drones to deliver medical supplies to remote areas, cutting delivery times from hours to minutes. The government introduced the liberalized drone rules, followed by the PLI scheme for drone manufacturing, laying the groundwork for widespread adoption. Meanwhile, India is actively exploring hyperloop transportation, a near supersonic system that uses magnetic levitation in vacuum tubes. The Mumbai-Pune Hyperloop Corridor, initially backed by Virgin Hyperloop, aims to cut travel time from over 3 hours to just 14 minutes. IIT Madras, in collaboration with Indian Railways and L&T, has developed a 422-meter Hyperloop test track, signaling serious R&D investment in the sector. Complementing this futuristic vision is the rise of eVTOL technology. Companies like Sky Air and Jaunt Air Mobility are working to bring flying taxis and aerial cargo vehicles to Indian skies. These aircraft, ideal for congested urban areas, can reduce traffic and enable faster intracity deliveries. With supportive government policies, private sector innovation, and rapid urbanization, India's logistics future is poised to be faster, cleaner, and smarter than ever before. The recent killing of Sudhakar, a top Central Committee member of the CPI Maoist, by security forces in Chhattisgarh marks a significant turning point in India's decades-long struggle against left-wing extremism. His elimination follows that of Maoist General Secretary Baswarju, signaling a systematic breakdown of the insurgency's leadership and operational capabilities. From an economic perspective, this is a crucial development. Maoist insurgency has long been a barrier to infrastructure, investment, and inclusive development in India's mineral-rich but conflict-ridden eastern states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and parts of Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. These regions hold vast reserves of coal, iron ore, and bauxite, critical for India's industrial and energy sectors. However, persistent violence and threats to personnel and infrastructure have discouraged private investment and delayed government schemes. With the weakening of Maoist influence, the government can now accelerate development programs such as road construction, telecom connectivity, and tribal welfare under schemes like the Aspirational Districts program. This not only enables better market access for local communities but also attracts businesses in mining, agriculture, and logistics, fueling rural job creation and reducing poverty. Moreover, sustained peace in these regions would significantly improve India's ease of doing business rankings, foster deeper domestic supply chains, and contribute to achieving its $5 trillion GDP goal. The challenge ahead lies in pairing security success with inclusive governance, ensuring that disenfranchised communities are brought into the fold of economic opportunity and trust.
फिर से एक बार आपको आश्वस्त कर जाता हूं कि अगले एक सवा साल के अंदर हम नक्सलवाद को समाप्त कर देंगे और अपील भी करता हूं कि आप कानून के सामने आत्मसमर्पण करिए, हथियार छोड़ दीजिए, अपने आप को सरेंडर करिए। और नॉर्थ ईस्ट कश्मीर कई जगह पे कई लोग हथियार छोड़कर मेन स्ट्रीम में आए हैं, आप भी आइए, आपका स्वागत है। परंतु अगर नहीं होता है तो हम इसके खिलाफ एक अभियान भी शुरू करेंगे और सफलता भी प्राप्त करेंगे। फिर से मेरी पूरी संवेदनाएं आपके साथ, आपके परिवार के साथ हैं और आपके आने वाले जीवन को सुगम और सुनिश्चित बनाने के लिए मेरे से यथासंभव हर प्रयास मैं करूंगा।
Geopolitical tensions surged after US Operation Midnight Hammer on 22 June 2025 saw B-2 stealth bombers target Iran's Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan nuclear facilities, dropping 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 bunker busters alongside Tomahawk cruise missiles from a submarine. The Pentagon described it as the largest B-2 strike in US history. Bombers staged from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, circled by decoys near Guam, and executed mid-air refuelings before striking. This US action followed Israeli airstrikes earlier in June, which targeted Iranian air defenses and nuclear infrastructure, executed primarily by F-35I jets, helping condition the battlefield. Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu applauded the US strike, calling it history-changing. In retaliation, Iran's parliament voted to consider closing the Strait of Hormuz, a maritime choke point through which about 20–30% of global oil and one-third of seaborne LNG passes. While the final decision lies with Iran's Supreme National Security Council, such a move would shock global markets. Brent crude, already hovering near $80 per barrel, reflects this volatility. Analysts warn prices could climb to $100 to $150 per barrel if the strait is blocked. Even the threat alone is raising a $12 geopolitical premium on oil and could delay supplies. Measures like US-China releasing reserves and Gulf pipeline rerouting could mitigate, but only partially. Nearly one-third of India LNG and a significant portion of crude transits the Strait of Hormuz. Disruption may spike energy costs, raise insurance premiums, and strain supply security. Analysts believe any blockade would be brief, citing past patterns. Airlines are avoiding Iranian, Iraqi, and parts of Gulf airspace. Flights between Europe, US, and Asia, especially India, are facing longer routes, adding 30 to 90 minutes of flight time. This increases fuel costs and fares. Global markets have turned risk-averse. US indices fell 1 to 2%, European and Asian markets also declined. Safe haven assets, gold, US treasuries, Japanese yen, have rallied. In summary, global energy markets and regional stability are at a tipping point. Actual or threatened closure of the Strait of Hormuz, coupled with unprecedented use of advanced US strategic bombers, marks a significant escalation with potentially severe and enduring economic consequences.